All right, we are here with Air Force head lacrosse coach Eric Sermit in his 4th year coaching the Falcons, and he's going to preview the 2012 lacrosse season for us. So Coach, tell us about the strengths of the team coming into the season.
Well, first and foremost, we returned a bulk of our team from last year. We graduated 10 off of last year's roster. We brought in a pretty healthy class. We are with 16 freshmen that's going to join us this year, and so we're pretty excited to see how they're going to compete, and as well as the returning guys. One of the nice things about our team right now is, we returned 4 of our top 6 scorers from last year, an all-league defenseman, and a lot of guys in that sophomore class that put a lot of minutes under their belt last year.
Okay, so what are some of the things that you're concerned about for this year?
Well, it's pretty obvious if you looked at our roster. You'll notice that our goal position will be a big question mark. We graduated a senior goalie last year. We have a current senior and a current junior right now, kind of duking it out. And they're doing a great job in practice. It's just not many game minutes between the two of them. So that's always a concern going into the season, to see how they're going to react, and be able to see the ball and clear it under pressure and get some real game experience underneath their belt.
Okay. Tell us about some of the top players that we have on this year's team.
Well, we returned Dayton Gilbreth, a 3-year starter for us and all-league defenseman, incredible athlete. We are the bulk of probably the minutes on this roster in that sophomore class. A lot of guys that by mid-season last year had upperclassmen minutes and had a lot of experience, and so we're excited to see how they're going to continue to push. That's Eric Smith and guys like Kyle Cassidy and Mike Crampton and Tommy McKee, and just bulk of those guys that got a lot of minutes, and Matt Pulio as well at the defensive end. So feel pretty good about that class, and then we're gonna you're gonna see a lot of new faces as well, and likely to start a freshman at every position this year. So again, a little nerve-wracking, but with good leadership that we have on the team, hopefully they'll be able to bring those guys along.
Okay, tell us a little more about that incoming class. Are there any players that you really expect to make a big impact this year?
Yeah, we had, like I said, we're probably looking to get some freshmen starting at each position. When you come out to see us in our first game, and 3 of those kids came up through our prep school, and a guy like Davis Gunter is going to look to have an immediate impact at the defensive end. A real mature kid, very athletic, very strong and capable defenseman for us. We have a couple of attackmen that are going to be fighting for a starting spot, as well as a significant amount of time. That's Keith Dreyer and Ryland DePole. Ryland DePole is another prep school recruit for us from last year, and he's just a pure goal scorer. He's a very talented kid. Guys like Tom Burgess, another prep school midfielder from last year, as well as James Burke, they're both really doing a great job so far in the preseason. And they're going to look to see some time for us. So, those guys probably sticking out above some of the other kids, but we're going to see a lot of new faces again, just like we did last year.
Okay, can you tell us about what team goals you have for the team this year?
Sure. First and foremost, we want to make sure that we're doing our part in developing our future officers in the Air Force. We think that lacrosse could play a significant part in that, and we want to make sure we're doing a good job in that aspect. Certainly from a lacrosse standpoint, it's pretty simple. We want to be in the top 4 in our league and make our league playoffs so that we are in position to make the NCAA tournament.
The ECAC typically does well in the RPI rankings, but do you think the conference lacks respect from the media and coaches polls?
Not necessarily. I think Denver did a great job in representing our conference last year, going as far as they did, and we look at it from a league coach's standpoint as trying to schedule big games in our non-conference play, and I think the more successful we are out of conference after we beat up on each other, could get us the exposure and the respect that the teams in this conference deserve.
What are you looking forward to most about 2012 for your program, the ECAC, and the state of the game?
Well, certainly, we're excited to get the season underway. Our kids have been banging against each other for quite some time now, and they're itching to play. And with the young squad that we have, I want to see if we've done a good job in preparing them, and I'm excited to see our talents and see how our kids do. From a league standpoint, I think there is a lot of parity in our league, so we are, from an Air Force perspective, excited to see, where we're going to rack and stack against the rest of the guys in our league. Hopefully our league will have good representation by the end of the season and be able to get a couple teams into the NCAA tournament. As far as the state of the game goes, it's been a lot of talk lately about the pace of our play in college lacrosse, and I'd like to see that faster pace. And that's letting our athletes be athletes, and maybe taking a bit of the coaching out of it and letting the kids make plays on the field. So overall, we're pretty optimistic about our season, and we want to put our best foot forward and see our kids compete.
Great. Thanks, Coach.